I would say the best word to describe Holloway out of the gate was scrappy, because we weren't a tank fabricator. And when I hired in, Pat said, I don't care what we build, we're not building tanks.
Pat McKee, my partner, when we started what has now become Holloway America, had been in the stainless steel manufacturing business for a long time. We were trying to find something else to do. We weren't ready to retire. We had an opportunity to buy an existing small machine shop. We sat in the office. We didn't have a board meeting. We just said, you think we ought to do this? And we said, yeah, I've been praying about it. I think we're supposed to do it. Very shortly after we made that decision, the economic collapse of 2008 and 2009 occurred, and we both looked at each other and went, whoops.
It was in 2007 when we got our first tank project. 2008, 2009 came, there was a big recession. The machining projects got harder to hit. Dave even questioned, can we keep the doors open at that time?
Poor David. He would come by my desk and he would say, Nina, pray that I win the lottery and I'm gonna go around town and I'm gonna pay off all the banks.
We kind of got into tanks out of necessity. Pretty much we had to do it to survive, and if we didn't do it, we were gonna close down. So that was the beginnings of Holloway.
The I-9 to the I-10 to right there, that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
That was all we could allow because everything else was taken up by machining.
That was part of the exciting part of it was, hey, how are we going to do that? You know, that won't even fit in the building. Why are we going to work on it? Well, we'll move the machine out in the parking lot and work on it.
I joined in 06. I was number 24. By 2009 or 10, we had 40 people in the company.
I remember one thing always says, you know, we're not going to be more than 50 employees. 50 is the perfect size. We would get to that 50 part, and Pat would always say, well, maybe it's 75, you know. We'd get to 75. Well, maybe it was 100.
Pat used to say, if you take care of all the people in your life, the rest of it will take care of itself. You know, another one was sell it all, we'll figure out how to build it.
You know, there was one time when Pat, he was good about saying, we need this machine, or we need this, or we need that. I don't remember exactly what piece of equipment it was. Could have been the water jet. Anyway, we decided we need one. So we were sitting there talking about it and decided, yep, we're going to buy that. So he walks down by Dave's office. He went, hey, Dave, we bought a water jet. You need to figure out how to pay for it. And just laughed and walked off. So, and that was just Pat.
The very last conversation I had with Pat, I didn't know at the time, but Pat had cancer. And he said, the one thing I want you to remember is all of the good things in life happen because of him, and continue to do things the way that he would want, not the way we would want.
The morning after he passed away, I remember announcing that I need you all to pray about and contemplate, what do we do now? It was a unanimous, what would Pat want? He would want us to dig our heels in and get after it.
Our 4 core values are this: trust, quality, service, commitment. And at the end of the day, words are easy, and what matters is our actions. So it's critical that we don't just promise quality, we deliver on it.
The team feeling and the family feeling, I think that is the key to what has taken Holloway from one building and a couple welders and a sledgehammer to 7 buildings and all the equipment you could possibly want.
If somebody sees me in a restaurant 20 years from now, I want them to come over and give me a hug and say, hey, thanks, I really enjoyed my time at Holloway, or thanks for taking care of my family. I want them to look at it and say, Holloway changed the paradigm for employment in Southwest Missouri. We made manufacturing fun. We showed that you could be a world-class manufacturer and still take care of your people and still make a modest profit and have a good life.
We've definitely stepped into a new chapter for Holloway America. This chapter is going to be driven by technology, by the new tools, the new ideas, by increased capacity. All these things are going to play a part. And yet at the same time, we can never, ever forget what has gotten us to this point. God, our guests, and our family. When you combine all that together, there's absolutely no limit to where our passion and our vision can take us.
But I've been doing this since 1976. I have never seen more beautiful work come out of the shop than this shop here.